Second, fifth, and sixth, they only have theory. Okay, so concept and the problems are similar to what we have in banking and financial services, not the technique but the size. Okay, the one problem will take 3 to 4 pages. Okay, but there are three types of problems. That's it. Like in banking, you had two types of problems. In this, three or maximum four. That is very rare, but four types of problems maximum you can consider. Okay, but theory is pretty simple and it is interesting also. So if even if you do theory, prepare it very well so that you can attempt 60% of the marks, and then remaining problems you can see. And there are chances that problems will come for the case study, so you cannot skip entirely the problem section. Okay, I have given the introduction about first module, so I'll directly start today. I know you might be tired. I'll just give a brief about first module. Okay, I'll just go through it. Okay, only 15 slides. That too, last one is thank you, and first one is this introduction. So 13 slides are there. This is your fifth lecture, right? Your fourth lecture? No. Fourth lecture. No, fifth. First, second, third, fourth. Fourth. Okay, anyways. Okay, shall I start? Yeah, what is your condition? You're tired, bored, sleepy, slept. Again, online classes, नहीं? What's that?
बोर्ड सर
बोर्ड ठीक है, तो मैं एक ज़्यादा नहीं लेता फिर मैं जस्ट एक गो थ्रू करता हूँ मैं. वेल आई एम टीचिंग मर्जर्स एक्विजिशन एंड कॉर्पोरेट रिस्ट्रक्चरिंग. दिस इज द नेम ऑफ द सब्जेक्ट 18 MBA FM 401 मर्जर. ओके, go through कर ही देता हूँ. Merger is what when two companies are coming together and maybe a third company will be formed, or one company will be absorbed by another company, or one company will split up into 2 or 3 companies, which is opposite of merger, which is called as a demerger. Okay, so that you are going to study in this module. And what are the different kinds of mergers? Horizontal है, vertical है, conglomerate merger है. Okay, ये सब है. Then synergy क्या होता है? Managerial synergies off नहीं है. Operating, financial and managerial synergies. तो synergy क्या होता है? When two companies are coming together, they should have equal or similar kind of thinking, similar kind of management. Or if that is not there, then there will be clashes. अरे मैं ऐसे काम नहीं करता, अरे मैं ऐसे ही काम करता हूँ, करने का तो कर, वैसे ऐसे नहीं होना चाहिए. So they should work in line with both of, taking care of both of the companies. Okay, one company might be having desks only. Another company might be having cabins for each of the manager. When they are combining, the managers are told to leave the cabin and come on the desk. Okay, we don't have cabins in our company. So manager should not feel अरे ये क्या हो गया, मेरा demotivate हो गया, मैं degrade हो गया. ऐसे ऐसे नहीं होना चाहिए. So there should be a synergy. When following the financials, if someone is following a certain kind of depreciation model in their company and another company which is getting merged, they are following some else straight line method or WDV method in their organization. So when the finance department is getting merged, everything gets merged when a company is merging. So when finance department is getting merged, they should not quarrel with each other. That नहीं हम लोग we follow straight line method, no we follow WDV, you should adopt WDV ऐसा. So there should be synergy, and the finance department should sit together, solve each of their problems, and come to a final conclusion or final solution, whether they should follow which of the method on the basis of what. Okay. Same way with marketing, one company might be focusing on digital marketing, one company might be focusing on outdoor advertisement much more rather than digital marketing. So when they are combining, and they should not fight with each other. So that is what synergy is all about. तो ये सब है, ये है. Then finally, who contributes to mergers and acquisition? Okay, what contributes basically to mergers and acquisition? करते क्यों हम mergers and acquisition? Why we do it? Okay, why company wants to do it? Okay, and what is the impact of mergers and acquisition on stakeholders? Stakeholders are everyone, starting from your customers to your shareholders, to your employees, to your suppliers, consumers, other customers, in line, or your competitors, everyone who is getting affected because of that mergers. So what will be the impact on those stakeholders that we are going to study in this module 1. I'll go brief about it, and in next class I'll complete this module. Okay. So this is what the merger definition which I told you. When two companies come together, one entity will be formed. So you can take an example of Vodafone Idea, which recently happened. Vodafone and Idea, they were two different companies, Vodafone SR Limited and Idea Limited. Two companies, they came together and they formed Vodafone Idea. They made it into, it is a kind of a third company, Vodafone Idea Limited. Okay. Neither the existence of Idea went away, neither the existence of Vodafone went away. Okay, it's like Axis Bank. Okay, is the bank. You have, most of you might have seen Axis Bank IFSC code starts with UTIP. Okay, that means Axis Bank has taken over, which has taken over UTI Bank. They did not change the IFSC code because it will hamper the other operations. So they kept IFSC code as it is. But you will never find UTI Bank anywhere. Okay, the existence of UTI Bank has been vanished off. Now only Axis Bank is there. Okay, so this is a kind of a merger where Axis Bank plus UTI Bank is equal to Axis Bank. Okay, the existence of UTI Bank is vanished, but the employees and the other assets, other liabilities of UTI Bank is totally taken over by Axis Bank, and the name of UTI Bank is totally gone. Whereas in Vodafone Idea, they have retained the name because it is the decision of the company. Okay, similar to L&T, which took over Mindtree 2 years back, I guess. Yeah, two and a half years back, L&T took over Mindtree, but still the name of company Mindtree is there. Okay, it didn't vanish off. Okay, so that it depends upon the company whether to change or not. And these, which I was telling, whether the company will vanish off or both the companies will be there, what will happen? It comes under categories of mergers. Categories, matlab, first is amalgamation. Amalgamation means there will be 2 or 3 companies which will come together. Okay, they will merge together and they lose existence of all the companies, and a totally new different company will be formed. Okay, HCL, Hindustan Computers Limited. Okay, this company is a merger of 4 companies, majorly 3 companies. Okay, a fourth one was a very small company. So 3 companies combined together, they formed HCL. The name of 3 companies is one of was Indian Reprographics Company. Second was Hindustan Computers. Third one was Indian Software Company. These 3 companies came together and they formed Hindustan Computers Limited, named as HCL. Okay, so the existence of Indian Reprographics and Indian Software Company and Hindustan Computers went off. ठीक है, अभी वो क्या नाम बचा है? HCL, Hindustan Computers Limited. Okay, तो ये बाकी 2 कंपनी का तो पूरा एग्जिस्टेंस चला गया हिंदुस्तान. So that is a case of amalgamation. Amalgamation means when companies are coming together, the existence of the other companies will go off, and totally a new company will emerge out of it. It is also called as consolidation. Okay. Then acquisition is there. Acquisition is when one big company is acquiring a small company generally. Okay, so Axis Bank and UTI Bank. Okay, UTI Bank, a small bank which was acquired by a large player called as Axis Bank. And acquisition, most of the time, and in this process, the Axis Bank is the acquirer. It is called as an acquirer, and UTI Bank will be called as a target. Okay, so the acquirer will go to target company and acquire that company, and the name of the target company will be there or it will be removed. It is totally under the discretion of the acquirer company. So the acquisition, Mindtree and L&T, that is kind of an acquisition, but it is specifically called as takeover. Okay, one distinction between acquisition and takeover. See, in both one similarity of acquisition and takeover is there will be one company after the process gets completed. In acquisition also and in takeover also. One company will be target company. It will get acquired by the acquirer, and only one company will remain. And that company will run the target company. Okay, so the owners of the target company will no longer be the owners. They will leave, or they'll become the owners of the part owners of the acquirer. Okay, if you have seen Rocket Sync Corporation, AYS and Rocket Sync, these were the two companies. When AYS acquired Rocket Sync Corporation, they renamed it the AYS itself as the Rocket Sync Corporation because that was the more famous one. Okay, same way when AT&T acquired, this company acquired AT&T. There was a company in US which acquired AT&T. Okay, AT&T was the telecom provider, the biggest telecom provider in US. So when this was acquired, the acquirer forgot its name and it acquired AT&T as the name of the final company. Okay, because AT&T was well known and it was going through some tough times, so the acquirer came and acquired it. Okay. Now the case of Big Bazaar acquisition of Future Group or the Big Bazaar is going on. Okay, so when Reliance takes over finally, when the deal will happen, we need to see whether the name of Future Group will be there or it will be totally gone and only this yeah, Big Bazaar will be Reliance will be there. Okay, same way which happened in and this is a kind of a selling also a takeover. Yeah, one distinction I was going to tell you, acquisition mein, it is a kind of a friendly, both the parties will be agreeing to that, target company will be agreeing that okay, you take over my company or I'm going to sell you my company. Okay, which happened in Deccan Airways and Kingfisher wanted to enter into airline industry, but they don't want it to start from the scratch, buying of the airlines, buying of the flights, buying or recruiting employees. They didn't want it to start from the scratch, so they bought the Deccan Airways totally and they just changed the name from Deccan Airways to Kingfisher Red. Okay, so there were two kinds of airlines: a normal Kingfisher, which was a premium segment, and Kingfisher Red, which was the non-premium segment. Okay, for the common people, which was acquisition of the Deccan Airways. So Deccan Airways totally lost Deccan Airlines. Deccan totally lost its existence, the name, but the flights were being used and they were remodeled as per the Kingfisher Airlines requirement. So that is a kind of an acquisition. Both the parties are very happy. Takeovers is when there is a forceful acquisition. Like in Mindtree and L&T, when L&T wanted to acquire Mindtree didn't wanted to give. They were telling we are not for sale. We don't want to sell our company. We don't want you to acquire our company. So Mindtree was not agreeing on that. But L&T जबरदस्ती नहीं हमको चाहिए तुम्हारा company. We want to take over your company. So that is a takeover. When it is very forceful, takeover. When it is friendly, then it is an acquisition. Demerger, opposite of mergers. Okay, there will be one company. It will split up into two companies. Why? We'll discuss in further class. Why they do that? One company or two companies will split up. Okay. Then types of mergers. Okay, give me more 15 minutes. Types of mergers. इसमें है ना horizontal, vertical, and conglomerate. These were the categories. How a merger has been identified. Okay. In this types of mergers, how a merger is classified. Just again, one company now nowadays, whether it is an automobile company or whether it is a mobile phone company or whether it is a laptop manufacturing company or airlines manufacturing company or any company for that matter, doesn't do the entire process on its own. Okay, Pepsi will market the product, but the distribution and packaging will be done by someone else. Okay, the bottling plant will be handled by someone else. Okay, Mahindra will focus more on engine performance of it, efficiency, building fuel efficiency engine. It will more concentrate on that. But the headlamps, the tail lamps, the tires, they'll not manufacture. They'll buy it from someone else. Okay, so if there is one product, there will be many people who are getting involved into manufacturing of it, and finally they will supply to the core company. Okay, if it is an automobile company, everyone will manufacture and they will supply to the company who is the brand of it. Mahindra है तो महिंद्रा को सप्लाई करेंगे सब लोग टायर्स, या फिर चलिए ठीक है टायर्स तो डिफरेंट कंपनीज के रहते हैं, हेडलैम्प्स, rear view mirror, everything that Mahindra will not manufacture. There is a company called as Varroc, VARROC. Varroc Engineering in Pune. It manufactures the headlamps, tail lamps, the rear view mirrors, the and the other upholstery of the vehicle of Mahindra as well as for Tata as well as for Maruti. They do it. Okay, so they don't have any car, but they go into auto auxiliaries. Auxiliaries. So in this case, when merger needs to happen, when a company, for example, Maruti Suzuki is a company, it want to acquire or merge or amalgamate whatever it wants Tata Motors. Okay, so Maruti wants to buy or get merged with Tata Motors. So who are Maruti and Tata? They are the competitors. Tata is the direct competitor of Maruti. So when Maruti is getting merged with Tata, its competitor, then it is called as the horizontal merger. You getting it? When two competitors are coming together, it is a horizontal merger. Okay, a classic example again, Vodafone and Idea. Both were the competitors. They came together. It was a horizontal merger. Okay, suppose when Maruti is buying its, what do you say, the glasses or maybe the upholstery of the car from another company, okay, which I told Varroc Engineering. So if Maruti is buying something from Varroc Engineering and fitting it into its cars, if Maruti wants, they can acquire Varroc Engineering or get merged with Varroc Engineering. Then that kind of a merger where they are going behind, Varroc is not a competitor of Maruti. Varroc is in fact the supplier of Maruti. Okay, so when Maruti is going behind and acquiring its supplier, then it is a vertical integration. In that backward integration, vertical merger, in that backward integration. When Maruti is okay, so Maruti is going back. जो supply कर रहा है उसी को they are going and acquiring. Then it is a vertical merger. Maruti can do the what do you say front forward integration also. Forward integration will be whoever whichever showroom or like Cars 24 or something like that is there, which are Cars 24 is selling second hand cars of Maruti. Now Maruti don't want Cars 24 to sell second hand cars of Maruti, so Maruti can go and acquire Cars 24 also. That means entire second-hand cars of Maruti, first-hand cars of Maruti, the new brand new ones, Maruti will sell. The suppliers of the Maruti which was there, that will also be acquired by Maruti. So it is acquiring the entire chain, entire supply chain may include. Now maybe Varroc is taking some. Sorry. No, maybe Varroc is taking some raw materials from another company, which is manufacturing steel plants, steel parts for Varroc, or glass parts or plastic products for Varroc. If they are doing that, then Maruti can acquire that company as well. Then it is a vertical. Then they are further going to vertical merger. If you know about Henry Ford, yeah, the Ford Motor Company, Henry Ford, who was one of the pioneers of the diesel engine vehicles, cars, he had the control of the entire supply chain starting from the iron ore. Okay, he was basic operation was to produce the cars, but it acquired the rubber manufacturing company also. It acquired the iron steel manufacturing company. It got control of the iron ore extraction. So starting from the extraction of iron ore till the production of the cars, the entire supply chain was controlled by Ford Motors. Okay, when Henry Ford started it. So that is a kind of a merger, a vertical merger. You are acquiring everything. Okay, now HUL manufactures ice creams. Okay, so in ice cream we need this milk products. Maybe Aditya Milk is also under now HUL. They are into ice creams, which is with the main ingredient of ice cream is milk products. Okay, are milk products. So HUL can go and acquire this the company which is supplying milk to it. Okay, that will be kind of a vertical merger. Now, when HUL acquired Aditya Birla Group, Aditya Milk, Aditya Ice Creams, it was a horizontal merger. They were getting merged with their suppliers, or if they are getting merged with their competitors, then it is a horizontal. If they are getting merged with with their suppliers or their distributors or anyone who is in the supply chain, then it is a vertical merger, whether it can be a backward or it can be a forward. Okay, suppliers है तो backward है, distributors है तो it is a forward. Then conglomerate merger, again, conglomerate is when one company is there into one industry and it is acquiring a company which is totally unrelated company but into different industry, then it is a conglomerate merger. When ITC started its operation, it was just a tobacco company, as the name is itself is suggests, Indian Tobacco Company. But ITC went into different industries. Okay, it started hotels. It came into FMCG companies, FMCG products. So when ITC was expanding, okay, it was becoming a conglomerate. It was not doing from the scratch. Okay, it was acquiring companies when it want to increase the customer base, increase the supplier base immediately. Then if you start from the scratch as a greenfield project, it will take time for you. Okay, so better whichever is the existing business, you can go and acquire that. Okay, just like in this when Vodafone took over Hutchison SR. Okay, Vodafone wanted to expand its business. Okay, so there were 2 3 companies like Spice Mobile, okay, Virgin Mobile. They were small companies who were having very tough time to get the customers and do a business, as the telecom business is oligopoly business. So you cannot have many suppliers in that. Okay, so Virgin Mobile and Spice Mobile were having a very tough time to do a business. So Vodafone approached them because Vodafone didn't was never interested in whatever the technology they are using. Vodafone was only interested in their customers and the towers which they had. Okay, so Vodafone acquired that. Okay, so it was a kind of a horizontal merger again. Okay, so I hope you understood this types of mergers. And I'll go for motives. I'll not go through each and every one. We'll do it in the next class. Motives are why we do mergers and acquisition. Okay, just now I was telling about Vodafone, where it acquired Spice. It wanted to expand very fast. Okay, when Henry Ford ka example I have told you. Henry Ford wanted to control the entire supply chain right from the iron ore till the production. Okay, it wanted to control everything so that there will be a price reduction. Okay, when this Toyota started its initially Toyota is basically a market what do you say, mechanical engineering kind of a company, which was only focusing on manufacturing of cars, and mostly the parts of the cars were mechanical. But later on, till 1970s and 80s, after 1980s and during 1990s, the electronic parts in a car started increasing. In the upholstery itself, you have a control of AC, you have your sound control, your music system. Okay, everything is electronic. And when power windows, power steering came into the market, then for that you need electronic circuitry, you need wipers for that electronic circuit. You have auto headlamps, auto wipers. So the electronic part in a vehicle started increasing. So this Toyota, there were 2 options for Toyota in this case: whether to start a small factory which was taking care of the electronic requirement, or whether to outsource the electronic. So Denso was a company which was taking care of supplying the electronic circuitry, electronic parts to the Toyota vehicle. Okay, so if Toyota feels they can start or they can acquire Denso together. Okay, or else to acquire the market. When WhatsApp was getting so famous that Facebook could not cope up with their with the customers, with the usage which the customers were having. So Facebook, by no chance, wanted to lose their market share or the control on the social media. So they offered WhatsApp such a huge price that WhatsApp sold their company to Facebook. And same way for the Instagram. So now Facebook is kind of they want to acquire the entire social media platform, social media. So they are acquiring each and everything. So that is their motive of M&A. They want to become a kind of a monopoly. Okay. Similarly for Google also wanted to everything you're searching, we should be the search engine. So that's the reason Google also acquired YouTube long back. But Google acquired YouTube now. So everything you search, a video you're searching, that is also has been taken. The data is also getting captured in Google as well. So there are many motives of that. We'll go each and every one later on. And synergy, which I was telling. Okay, when the two companies are coming together, their output should be more. Okay, it should not be the sum of the output of the two companies, but more than that. Okay, if suppose there are two factories. Okay, one factory belongs to one company A, another factory belongs to company B. When when production of company A is 100 units per hour, production of company B is 150 units per hour. Okay, so the sum of the production is 150 plus 100, that is 250. So 250 is the total production. But when the merger is happening, two factories are coming together, they are taking care of the weaknesses of one, and they are capitalizing on strengths of the other. So when both the companies are coming together, their output should not be just 250. The output should be more than at least 250, or should be more than 250. Then you can say they have achieved synergy. If the output is less than 250, then it is a reverse synergy. Yeah, then you have not achieved synergy in that case. So it was better you were working separately. Okay, it's just like there is one cricket team, they have best batsmen but worst bowlers. Another cricket team, you have worst batsmen but best of the bowlers. Okay, so if when you are combining these two teams, you will take best batsmen which from one team and best bowlers from another team, and you will make another team. Okay, the third team, they will have the best batsmen and best bowlers. If that team is performing, they should perform way better than the combination of these two teams. Okay, if they are not performing, they are fighting, they are quarreling, they are not getting adjusted, there are many of the issues, then that is not a synergy. Okay, because the best batsman wants best treatment, best bowlers want best, they want best treatment, whatever the reason is. If they are not performing very well, because we have combined the best from both the teams, then if they do not perform, then it is not a synergy. If they perform, and they perform extraordinarily very well, then we have achieved a synergy, which applies for companies as well. When two or three companies are coming together, the performance should be exponential. Okay, it will just not the addition of these two. So there are different types of synergies which we'll go through in the next class, and how a value has been created. Okay, what will happen when a horizontal merger happens? What will be the value which is created for the company, or horizontal merger, vertical, conglomerate? Okay, we'll do it in the next class. Then the theories of merger. Okay, why? What are the different theories? Based on those theories, merger is happening. Okay, inefficient management अच्छा नहीं है. One company is performing very well, the operations is very well. Okay, but there is always a fight between management for one or the other reason. Workers are very good, the products which they are manufacturing are good, but the management always quarrels. They don't take a good management decision. Because of that, the sales is reducing. So that can be a chance for another company to take over this company. Okay, similarly other kinds will do it. Okay. And what are the theories of merger? Information signaling or free market hypothesis, tax to avoid taxes also. One part information signaling is when mergers is happening. Okay, you're buying a company. So when a company is being bought, there are mostly there are positive sentiments in the market, in the stock market. Okay, when there was a demerger also, uh, of there was a positive sentiments. Infosys is a company, it's an IT company. Biocon was a small segment in Infosys which was started. Now later on, Infosys realized that Biocon has the ability to run as a separate company. So Biocon got separated from Infosys and it is running as a separate entity, and its shares are also listed on the stock exchange. So it is a kind of a demerger. But when this demerger happened, there was a huge positive sentiments for Infosys and for Biocon both. So the shares of Infosys and Biocon both went up. So that was the signal for the stock market. That demerger was a signal for the stock market that the both the companies will work very efficiently. And when L&T acquired Mindtree, the shares of Mindtree got shoot up because the owners of the Mindtree didn't want it. That's a different story. But the other shareholders were very happy because L&T is getting taking over our company, so our company's shares will go up. Okay, so we'll have a value appreciation in our shareholding in our portfolio. So many other different types of mergers theories will do it. You have done product life cycle, okay, introduction stage. Okay, this is industry life cycle. Okay, product life cycle you have done, introduction stage, which is kind of a fragmentation stage here. You have the growth stage in a product life cycle. You have shakeout stage in industry life cycle. The rest two remains the same. The maturity stage in a product and a decline stage in a product. Okay. In marketing, you have studied this product life cycle. Similar to product life cycle, you have industry life cycle. The entire industry, okay, where it is standing. Because when you want to start up a company, you need to understand your when you're starting a company, in which industry your company lies. Okay, when you're now, suppose you decide to start up an online retail, then online retail has almost reached a maturity stage. Okay, it is not growing as it was growing a few years back. Almost it has reached a maturity stage. When you're talking about automobiles, if you are talking about fuel, diesel cars, then somewhere it is between maturity and decline. Because in automobiles, electric vehicles, electric scooters, electric two-wheelers, and also electric cars are just forming. So the electric EV, if we call, it is into fragmentation stage. EV automobiles. Now Tesla is coming to India. They might change the entire EV industry in India. Bajaj is launching scooters next month in Pune. Okay, let's see. But they have announced it that they'll be launching scooters, electric scooters. So that is under fragmentation stage. We don't know whether it will excel, it will go, how it will go, what will happen. We don't know it. So small pockets. Tesla is coming to Bangalore. They might be selling to maybe South India initially. They might not go to North India initially. So small fragments. छोटे छोटे ऐसे टुकड़े. Okay, small fragments, small parts. They will be distributed, and you will not have a proper, well organized industry in this case. See, maybe we'll discuss it, the remaining in the next class. Then SWOT analysis. Okay. Strengths, weakness, opportunities, threats. You have to analyze it of a target company. Okay. You are an acquirer company. You want to acquire a company. Okay. You want to buy a company. So you need to do a SWOT analysis of that company. What are the strengths of that, weaknesses of that company? What are the opportunities for you when you acquire the company? What are the opportunities? Whether your market will expand, whether your customer base will expand, whether your improvement in the financial, marketing, or operations division, what will happen? Okay. Then same way for the threats. Okay, what will be the threats if I go and acquire that company? The SWOT analysis, I guess Reliance failed in this, because when Reliance went and offered future retail, so there was a threat from Amazon actually. Okay, which Reliance didn't realize. Okay, not just from Amazon, but for any other company, because we have a Competition Commission of India, which tells that we cannot have a monopoly in any of the sector, which was the MRTB Act earlier. Now we have Competition Commission of India. According to the Competition Commission of India Act, you cannot have a monopoly in any of this, any of the field, any of the industry, any of the product. So to avoid that, you need to have competitors in the market. So one competitor cannot take over the another competitor and have a market share of maybe 70-80%. That should not happen. So it will be a technically not a proper monopoly, but technically it will be similar to monopoly, because you are having 80 to 90% of the share because you have acquired competitors. That should not happen. So that is a threat when you are acquiring a competitor. Okay, so which Reliance and Future Retail is facing. Okay, Last one is BCG matrix. You have studied this again in strategic management. Okay, so where your company is lying again, where the target company is lying, whether the target company is a star, high performers, high growth into high growth market and having a higher market share. Okay, or it's a question mark. Why, even after having a high growth, why it is having a low market share? Okay, or whether it's a cash cow or a dog. Okay, so which is in which category the target company falls, whether it falls in the dogs or cash cows or stars or question marks. So, so from these quadrants, the best company to acquire is stars, definitely. If they are falling into a high market, if they are having high market share and high market growth, but due to some other reasons, and they are not able to run their company properly, or they are very what do I say? Very catchy to buy, very interesting company. Okay, they don't know how to value the company. They have given a low valuation, or I want to acquire because this stars. We can take an example of WhatsApp. WhatsApp had a huge market growth and huge market share. If we talk about using 4G, we are sharing of messages, then WhatsApp was the leader. Okay, WhatsApp had a huge market share. So WhatsApp was a star when Facebook acquired it. Same goes for the Instagram. Okay. Now, if I take Air India, for example, Air India doesn't have a market share. It doesn't have a market growth. Air India falls somewhere in this quadrant. So no company is ready to buy Air India. Okay. One was the Maharatna at one time in 2000, 2001. It was Maharatna. It was among the top best performer airlines in the country. Now it has come to a very low market share and very low market growth. So Air India is falling here. So that's the reason no company is ready to buy Air India because it is in this quadrant. Okay, so we'll go again much in detail next class for the few slides. Okay, so that's it for today. Okay, 22 people remained. Okay, great. So any doubts for me on this? As usual, you'll not have it. Any doubts for me?